Hello there, this is Juliana Michaels and welcome to my channel. In this video, I'm sharing how I created this Rustic Star Christmas card that was inspired by a die set I saw from Papertrey Ink. As soon as I saw it, I wondered about creating something similar using dies I already had. With a little playing around, I was able to do just that, and I wanted to share the how-to with you. If you're interested in the supplies I've used to create this card, you can find links to them in the description box below. When you shop through those links, it supports me, and I really appreciate that so much. And as always, there'll be a blog post available with more photos if you're interested in looking at the card in more detail. Now let's get on with the making. So for this project, we're going to be using some paper pads from scrapbook.com. This is the Noel pattern paper collection, and it's just an assortment of patterns, and there are some solids in here, but a nice assortment of Christmas patterns in here. So all of them are really, really pretty. And then some coordinating cardstock from the Christmas paper pad. I'll be using this lumber 3D embossing folder for Tim Holtz. I'm going to be using this stamp set for the sentiment. This is the Word Fetty Fa La La from scrapbook.com. And I'm going to be using a set of different dies. So this is the Cozy Autumn Foliage die set. And I'm going to be using the ones that are more kind of Christmas-like, which is these here. And then I'm also using this one here from the Delicate Leaves die set. And then I'm going to be using this bow from the Bow Topper die set. I'll be using the Walnut Stain Distress Ink and an ink blending tool, the Ground Espresso Archival ink, got some small little brads, and then I'm going to be using the Distress Hammer to distress these so that it all fits in with the rustic theme. And one last thing I'm going to be using is a sanding disc, but you could also use just a piece of sandpaper for some distressing as well. Alright, so the first thing I'm going to do is work on the background, and we're going to be placing it in this. So I like to just put a little dab of that in there just to help hold this in place. Then I'm going to ink this, and you have to really push the ink pad down in there. And because it's got a lot of deep crevices in it, you have to kind of really work it around. Get any little balls like that, wipe them off. We really do try to get down in those little grooves. So I'm going to close this and run it through my vacuum machine. Alright. And then to clean this, you can use like rubbing alcohol or stamp cleaner, Archival ink stamp cleaner. Either one will work. And what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to cut it into little strips. And you can't really measure the differences that I want, so I'm going to use a little ruler and a pencil to make the marks on here. So I want it every 3/8 thickness. 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I need 5 of these. 1, 2, 3. And pick those. Let's start on this side. Then we are going to cut these to different lengths. So I need 2 of them that are 4.5 inches long. I need one that is 4.25 inches long. Another one that's 4.25 inches long. And the last one is 3.5. So then with these, you're going to just do some ink blending around the edges. You're going to take another piece of this paper, use that as our background, and we're going to use from this paper pad, use this one here. I'm going to trim this one down to 4, 5.25 inches. I'm going to use my little distress tool to distress the edges. Totally skip this part if you want. Then I'm going to go add some machine stitching around the edges of that. So I'm going to back this piece. Machine just in here. Okay, so that's good to go. Now what we're going to do is build our star. So we're going to take our 2 longest pieces, use our craft glue here, and I'm going to use, like, just keep this close by so you can kind of get a feel for size, but kind of basically what we're going to do. Take a little glue. So there we go. So then the next thing we're going to do is put these little brads in. And this is just an old piercing mat. It's like ancient. But I'm just going to use the pokey tool. Little poke through there. Got something to put our brad through. And it kind of look like a nail. And just whatever. And so then stick these through here. And then you're going to need either some wire cutters or some heavy duty scissors, because that's going to hang over the end. So you're just going to trim that off carefully. So that the little piece doesn't go flying into your eyeballs. And then I'm going to hammer those. See how it adds some texture to it. Alrighty, so there is our star. Now off camera, I had die cut some different leaves and stuff. And what I'm going to do is sand those with my sanding tool here. And I've shared about this before, but I just like to leave the die cut in the paper. It just makes it easier to give me something to hold on to when I'm cutting them. And then especially for these winter themed ones, it just looks like snow on there. So I think that's so pretty. But it's an easy way to add a little interest. All right. And last but not least, we've got our bow. And I'm just going to ink the edges a bit with a little walnut stain. Totally skipped this part, of course. I wanted this one to have a little dimension, so I'm going to use my scissors. Just cut off that little extra bit here. And we're going to take, this is just a scrap of the paper, and I'm going to just cut a little knot to put in the center. To assemble this, give it a little more dimension, bend it. We're just gonna move this to the center here. Here's our little bow. So next what we're going to do is create our little floral cluster. If you've got little pieces sticking out down there that you don't like, just go in there and trim them off. Now I'm just going to finish assembling the card. Here's a look at the Christmas card I created, complete with its handmade rustic star embellishment. I finished it off with a stamped sentiment from the scrapbook.com Wordfetti Fa La La stamp set. Until next time, stay crafty, my friend. Thanks so much for watching. I'm so grateful for you. I was wondering if you could do me a quick favor and subscribe to my channel or leave me a thumbs up or a comment. If you're feeling extra generous, I'd love for you to share about my channel with your friends. All of these things help out us YouTubers so much, and it would mean so much to me to have your support.